5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn. Dire team.
Warlock.
OG's turn to pick. Dire team pick. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Dire team pick. OG's turn to ban. OG's turn. Dire team. OG's turn to ban. OG's turn to pick. Dire team. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team.
Game 2 of OG VP. OG off to a fantastic start, taking out Game 1. And we are here in Game 2 with another beautiful team fight lineup arriving from Virtus Pro. More action, Sin. More action.
Yeah, this is very similar from VP in some ways and very different in others. And the same for there's been like a couple of tweaks here and there on the approach. VP have gone for even more team fight in their support. Instead of having the Tusk, they've gone with the Sand King this time around. And as far as OG goes, they've mixed up both the mid and the safe lane drastically here. The TA is a very different hero from an Invoker, and this time No-Tail will be playing the Spectre instead of Terrorblade, who, funnily enough, will this time be played by VP. VP don't seem to favor this hero as much, but it's a great counter pick to the Spectre, and I think Ramses is really, really good at the hero. So it's just another hero in VP's arsenal that they can pull out whenever needed. So.
Always going to be that fun thing to play like a hero like a Terrorblade against a team like OG that also understand the nature of the hero, the timings of the hero so well. So it will be a challenge for Virtus Pro. Because as you said, OG, they're keeping everything pretty similar apart from the small change-up. Like, actually, I love the mid change-up. We saw Anna have a very hard time with the Invoker up against the Ursa last time. Ursa back to the mid lane under the hands of no one, up against a Templar Assassin, who's meant to fare better now in this mid matchup. If we take the players out of the mix.
It's definitely way better for TA than for Invoker. The refraction is nice against Ursa.
Oh, S4, you don't want to be doing this.
He doesn't indeed.
He's coming up with Fly. Like, if Fly attempts the Icarus type, they got the Observer Ward, so he understands what he's up against. Lil, 2 targets to Burrow Strike, and he can't get both. So just let him move back out again. Burrow Strike still holding off on it. Jirax pounces forward. He's going to go for the stun. Jumping in. Icarus dive forward and straight back out again. Ramsey's here to help out. He triggers some Metamorphosis very early, but the damage on S4 combining with the Shadow Word, he should tick out down to 24. The ticks, will it be enough with the regeneration from the Tango? He's got a salve available as well. The Shadow Word's going down 13, 9, 8. He's still not low enough to die. S4 will salve and survive.
Very close and very cool here by S4 not to use the salve, just staying calm under pressure.
Burrow Strike going again.
Though.
Here goes another jump as Jirax back in again on the top lane. Fly still in the neighborhood. S4 forced into the tree lines. Burrow Strike's off cooldown again in 3 seconds time. But Jirax on the other side wants to go into Lil. That's 4 sticky napalm charges from S4. Lil is dropping fast. In fact, the Burrow Strike will not save him. Fly's last attack allows OG to spill the first blood on the top lane.
This is some very old school stuff from OG, by the way. It's been a long time since I've seen a tri-lane Bat Rider. It was a thing of the past. I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, this was a thing that some teams were running. OG pulling one out of the bag here. Of course, it comes at a cost. Mid lane Ursa's doing well. The Magnus has a one-on-one against Spectre, which I think is very Magnus-favored matchup down the stretch. So far, so good for No Tail, though. And, well, no one seems to be, as mentioned, having a great time against Tia.
7-2 against 3-0 again.
I really don't know this matchup very well. It's a pretty rare sight. But, well, we can use this as our sample size. So far, Ana is getting kind of destroyed again.
It may be a little bit easier for Ana once he's able to start connecting properly onto the Sign Blades. But while no one's running a PMS, it's very difficult. In fact, Ana, okay, Refraction's coming back off cooldown now. But there's Norbert Venom from no one, so he just punches in. Jirax wants to help out, but what's Ana going to do? He has a little bit of extra damage at the moment, but he's so risky of death. It's like they're trying to bait no one to come underneath the tower.
Fly is connecting, and there is a DD. He will maybe see that on the way, but so will Lil.
Yep, they should jump in. They're going after no one, so you can battle for the double damage rune. No one's still on the run. Ana pops a refraction up. There goes your jump in. No one in for the quick clap. Fairy Fire gets in the life. That last attack is on. Another 3-man Burrow Strike in from Lil. Gets the return kill onto Fly and lets that double damage, which he stole, do the work to find this blood.
Jerax playing with fire here.
Doesn't want to get too close. Especially as Ana is waiting for him to come over so they can trigger the shrine. Lil is looking for the target to find out what's going on, but yeah, he understands now. They shrine, they move back. Everything's back to status quo.
The initial laning stage definitely favoring VP here. They did get first blooded, but look at the farm values. This Mag against Spectre lane matchup is very good for Mag, as mentioned. The TB is free farming. The Ursa is doing well as well. And since OG committed so much into trying for this Ursa kill and not being successful, their supports need to go and find levels. Fly's level 1.
Has Pacha got enough damage with this? He's got a level 2 shockwave and then a level 1 skewer.
Oh, okay, he broke the flask. That's pretty big.
Jirax will start to force him out of lane now. Yep. Top lane, S4, real issues for him. Firefly over the hill, the damage from Solo is not enough, but the pop from Lil will be. 1 point value.
Yep. That was a really close kill. Big No Tail got our... why do I call No Tail today, Toby? Why are you doing this to me?
We're gonna.
Oh, mid lane Ana. She's got cooldown on refraction, gets solo killed by no one.
Yeah, but no one can he get out of jail. As you got Jirax right behind him, Fly. There's not enough damage to kill off this big tanky Ursa. 820 HP for a Monkey King and Phoenix to get through. Little too much, especially when both of them are still sitting at level 2 4 minutes in.
S4 is farming up a nice double, triple, something stack here. A lot of creeps. Let's call it that. He farms a lot of creeps, Toby, and gets level 4.5, actually almost level 5, so looking good for him in terms of recovery. One of the benefits of Bat Rider, especially if you're running an aggro tri-lane.
Do you actually think you could do this? Can he actually kill off no one? If no one takes a little bit more damage...
He will hear Jerax pouncing.
The bottle. The bottle arrived.
Plays it safe. He just leeches XP.
Yep.
Might go for Lil, though.
Yeah, Lil's pretty low. Whoa, hey! That's not the jump in. But, okay, that is the jump in. Jirax actually chasing Lil back into the base. He wants to push him away from that one little centaur. It will stop him from stacking the camps, at least. Or stacking that one camp.
I don't even think Lil wanted to do that. That was kind of a bit of a waste from Jerax, but being there and leeching in the first place was definitely a good move. Getting a lot out of that.
Well, VP should be very happy across the lanes. We're talking about their advantage in CS. Overall net worth is sitting about 1,800, and we're only 5 minutes into this game. Top 3 belong to Virtus Pro. This is one of these games where you also ask the question, like, how do you play catch-up? You've got a spec on the safe lane. At least he's not going to be massively under-leveled this time.
It's just that this lineup from OG kind of reminds me of something Liquid ran in the tournament as well, with this dual core of Templar and the Spectre. I like OG's version a bit better because they have more options of catch and slightly better fighting, but it still, in essence, is pretty greedy. And if you fall behind in the lanes, you can't really recover that easily with this stuff. S4 top lane.
Yeah, really trying to engage him with the upheaval from Solo. Talked about it before, getting the early points up in it. It's a 0-2-1 build from him. And S4 needs to run. That Firefly is not going to last much longer. He's going to have to go back into the lane to escape.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll have the extra stun from G-Rax if things do get rough. But now actually, well, Lil Burrow striking himself forward. But doesn't find the target he wanted.
And now this mid lane is a lot more even. Now that TA got some more levels, Refraction on high level kind of makes it impossible for Ursa to really keep the pressure up. So we'll be having a good time now on the Templar unless they rotate on him. He has also successfully stacked his Ancients once. We'll be going for the second stack now at 7. And I would imagine he wants to farm this when he's level 7 himself. Might share the experience with Phoenix. I think that would be a good play for OG. Get Fly up toward the 6.
Would be nice also to have that Wukong.
Oh, wait, the stack failed?
Yeah, he left one Black Dragon behind. For some reason, that Black Dragon was having a smoko break and didn't want to join the rest of the team who are going out to work.
Wait, how did that happen?
Who knows, Dota.
That's actually a really good explanation.
N0tail's having a lot better time on this bottom lane. So this is something Virtus Pro have to be careful of. These team fights can happen. We saw Arteezy actually being really successful with it with the early style of combat build. N0tail looking to do the same thing. Early earn, you have the level 6, so with the Spectral Horn up, Virtus Pro have to know they're not always going to have the numbers. And G-Rax as well as Fly, they're moving up to the top lane so they can attack, and the one person who's left behind to try and leech anything against a Bat Rider is the Warlock, who went for a 0-2-2 build. TP support's on the way. He actually starts it up with the upheaval. Flame Break pushes them back over. G-Rax ready to fight. Where is the Spectral Horn? Now she comes in right in the middle of the fight. Ursa stunned up. A lot of that enrage can be wasted. And N0tail, he jumps down and over towards Lil, heading east where the ward was, but now there's too much support. Magnus arrives as well. They got their kill. Now they're thinking about getting back out again.
And G-Rax will successfully run off to the
Dire's
left.
middle tower
Nice little snipe here from OG. Not the ideal kill. They only got the Warlock, but...
They got a lot of damage into that mid-tier 1 because of the early Blightstone on Ana. He actually did considerable damage to that mid-tower.
And they forced rotation from VP as well. The Mag, as you said, came to top, and now he has to go all the way back to base. Use Shrine.
So jump again, top lane, Flame Break pushing back.
Not again.
Solo, yeah, it is again. He TP'd in after the fight happened, even while G-Rax was watching him TP in. So really problematic. Extra kills going the way of OG. Not to mention now Ana, after doing damage to the mid-tower, is taking that Ancient stack and he's sharing the experience with N0tail.
Shrine up. Ana is too cool to get the full Shrine.
Needs to get back into mid. There's CS that's going to Beggin. He's got a haste rune followed up, so he's fine. At Ramses, maybe this is the first time we see Virtus Pro really add a lot of pressure to a lane, and that's going to come from the Metamorphosis level 3. Potentially level 4, he's holding on to the extra point. Not to mention Pasha holding on to RP in the tree line. The Observer Ward from OG is a little bit too far north, so it doesn't actually see this attack coming, but with the Empower buff up, on Ramses, it's a pretty good indicator that the Magnus is here.
Terribly deals so disgustingly much damage with Empower.
They're actually going to kill mid while this push is happening. Monkey King's going to jump in. Yeah, he's looking to go in onto no one. There's no extra stun solos in the neighborhood, but they do chip harassment. They bring the attention around. N0tail in the meantime is just juking around the tree line. He doesn't have Spectral Horn. He doesn't have the dagger up either, but he runs forward. The tier 1 tower will fall. S4 with the lasso. Actually dodges past his skewer. Now Ana can go to work. The Burrow Strike through. The RP will connect. Ana and N0tail basically stacked on top of each other. But the kill still goes the way of OG. Hadouken Creep's trying to help out too, but Ana, quick run away. And Haste Room, so maneuverable in the fights with it.
That could have gone really well for VP if they didn't stack their RP and Sand King stun. They both had the same idea at the same time. It does happen sometimes, even to a team of this caliber. VP obviously didn't get to the finals by chance, but they got the tower. Good plays from OG, however, to at least get something out of that. The kill on Lil and Ana's rotation, but they didn't get more. No structural damage done by OG in this time frame. And now Lil will take the VP safe lane for a bit. It's important for Sand King to get up toward this Blink Dagger eventually and of course get the levels. And likewise for OG's Phoenix, played by Fly. Both of them are getting their respective Tomes of Knowledge right now, so we'll be finding their 6s. This is really nice by Lil, by the way. He's had the Tome on him for a while, but he wants to make sure he uses it in the fog. So OG don't know, or I don't mean, I also have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's either nice or he doesn't want to use it. Okay.
Yeah, he actually gave it over.
Give it to Warlock. Ah.
They need the rock.
That is even better. I didn't realize Solo was this low level. He's been trying to leech the lane a little bit, but hasn't managed to really get too much experience. Now closing in on Chaotic Offering. He went 0-2-3 again.
The downside for him is by the time he might have it, S4's already picking up the Blink Dagger. This is an 11.5-minute Blink Dagger on S4. Initiation is supreme. The Observer Ward of OG, this one that's so deep on the top lane, it saw Lil, it saw Solo come in. And Solo did it again. He went for the 0-2-3 build on this Warlock. He's looking for the AoE control. But Dirac smoking up. Anna's coming as well. The Blink Lasso, it's over on the Sand King. Spectral Horn, Notel understands. That SK kill is in the bag. So he moves over. They want the kill on Warlock. Short of level 6. Short of having a dream to defend that tier 1 tower. OG will take it.
Tower's gone. Very nice play. OG making sure to use Haunt off cooldown. We'll give the last hit to Notel here.
Nice trade for Virtus.pro, however. They are getting a lot of space in the bottom lane for the Bangers to continue his farm towards his own Blink Dagger, and Ramses applies pressure to the mid-tier 1. So they're getting everything they possibly can. And here comes no one out from the tree line. As you said, Jirax with the Invis, he can come through the back lines. Ready, doesn't have the Wukong command yet. When the Burrow Strike happens, Fly just gets deleted. Ramses S4's on top of him. The Sunder gives Ramses life back again, but the stun from Jirax holds him in position underneath that Firefly. So Anna can go to work, but no one. He really wants Templar Assassin with a push for the RP. It's Virtus.pro who are finding the kills, but in comes Notel. He can't attack into Lil, at least with the dispersion. Lil's actually dying. The Shadow Word has to help out. There's also an Urn Charge, I believe, doing the tick.
I think that was a strange moment between the Batrider and Terrorblade where I keep calling him No-Tail.
Hey, don't blame me, Sint. You're having a Toby
It's your fault moment. Toby wants such a Toby moment.
Yeah.
So the Batrider was trying to circle around Terrorblade to make sure he couldn't cast Thunder with the sticky napalm on it. But No-Tail, yeah, there we go again. Okay, there I go again. S4 is playing Batrider, Toby. I think he used Flame Break in an unfortunate way that actually gave Ramses the correct facing so that he could get that Sunder off. I think it basically knocked him in to a potential Sunder. If he doesn't get Sunder off there, that is a really good fight for OG, so definitely don't blame them for going for it. But VP getting that key ability off and of course getting a good RP toward the M to kill Ana.
You can have a look at it again, so you can see the moment.
S4 Batrider, S4 Batrider, S4 okay, let's look.
So Ramses, in he goes, there's the flame break and pushes him up, but we have to go back live because initiation is on Ana. They have the detection thanks to Central Ward. With Upheaval, Ana is incapable of running away from this. This is the momentum that Virtus.pro want. Bring down the big heroes, take the tier 1 tower, and open up for Roshan, or just open up Roshan anyway. Their issue is the Templar Assassin traps are watching this closely. So they need to commit more sentry wards in order to clear out the pit.
And similar to the previous game, OG have good Roche heroes.
It's the Batrider again.
Not for killing Roche, but for protecting the area. Batrider, Phoenix, and the Monkey King once again.
S4 just pinged out that Observer Ward. He knows his place down. But it may not matter if this tier 1 tower's gone.
Oh, he quelled him!
Oh boy! Oh boy! Monkey King! Melia Prince as he gets demoted from the tree by Virtus.pro.
This is another one of those. I don't know if they actually saw him with a ward jumping up there. I can't really see it. But might just have been a game sense play from Pasha here. You know, it's kind of a low risk for him to try to go for it. Maybe he's there, maybe he isn't. Might as well just try to cut the tree. And he seemed a bit surprised that he got the Monkey King. They weren't just immediately pouncing on him like they had full confidence.
Like, let me just have a guess. It's the guesstimation game of VP. Sometimes things just go your way.
Yep.
New Observer Ward down by OG. They're going to put down a sentry. And hello. 2 Observer Wards down in the space of 30 seconds in favor of Fly. That's a nice thing for them when you notice how many Observer Wards are now on the map for the Dire side. The answer is 0.
By the way, this is something that kind of gets important later, but don't forget that this Terrorblade in Metamorphosis increases your base damage. It doesn't get counted as plus, it is base damage. That synergizes really well with Empower. So this Terrorblade in meta hits pretty damn hard. Like, I think right now his base damage in meta is about to run away. It's like,
goodbye, Solo. Out by himself. Wow, okay, Notel really wants those 2 Urn Charges. Reveals where the rest of VP is. And, well, you don't have the Desolator completed just yet on Ana, but they're definitely considering Roshan. They don't want to do it, though. VP still have really good team fight. That Blink Dagger's an over on the SK, but they don't know when it's going to come up either.
Ramsey's scouting here.
Jump forward. Pasha. That looked like he was trying to go for the turn RP skewer.
I think he wanted to just blink skewer, but might have overshot the blink, so he got the blink range penalty and got a bit confused. I'm pretty sure if he goes for the RP there, that's a kill. Oh, about it. Didn't commit. Now they're going to smoke instead. I don't think this was spotted by a ward.
The Observer wards were all too far away.
And they're going to use some pyros.
Yeah, but the Templar Assassin Trap is in there, and Ursa actually broke smoke when he attacked it. So S4 knows. They all know. So Monkey King's trying to pounce through the rear. You can see Pasha. He's on monkey duty. Can't find him yet. Now the Firefly up for S4. Starts sticky napalm charges. This will slow down the Ursa. The flame break.
Oh, he got
bashed by Roshan. The Sunray is actually burning through the Ursa. He'll survive through the enrage, but in comes down to the rock will drop. But it's only to control the Templar Assassin. Ursa's already down epicenter. Lil needs to do some damage with the Burrow Strike forward. He's doing it into No-Tail, but there's one charges. There's survivability. They still haven't killed off Roshan yet. Fly gets back out again. DOTA2, he also didn't have enough mana to let his ulti go. But OG are fine with it. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Ursa for TA. They stopped Roshan, and now they shrine up.
And they forced out RP and meta. They still have Supernova themselves. And they didn't have Haunt. So, mission accomplished for OG. Still a lot of farm going Ramsey's way. He will have Manta style more than likely in a minute and a half. And is effectively really out-farming this TA. Not having the greatest game Ana this time. 4 deaths. And by going Blink over Deso, slowing down his own farm as well. So if these fights don't work, he falls off pretty quickly.
S4 something again. He's using Monkey King to scout out as much as he possibly can.
He needs to be careful not to cut his tree down.
Yeah, that's a small thing. Synergy is not great between the Monkey King as well as the Bat Rider. But they're living life on the edge. The Tier 1 tower is protecting them for the moment, and it's Lil who hides in the trees.
Oh, Fly is showing.
Anna's just going for it. he doesn't have to wait. If VP aren't going to come to them with no RP, with no MP, with no Golem, it's a very simple Tier 1 tower, but you do have an Invis rune on no one as he walks down the mid lane. And he'll break it. He doesn't see his opportunity yet.
One Observer, or rather one Sentry, was placed by OG previously. But yeah, as you said, doesn't matter.
With all these fights that have been, like it feels like it went, oh no! Oh, Jirax, he was trying to TP away, right in vision of a fresh Dire Observer Ward, and with no Monkey King, they're thinking about going out. Like, Phoenix going to slow things down. So you got RP in 10, you've got Golem in 50, and you got Epi in 6. But they're backing out once more. But VP's been really efficient while playing around Roshan. They're still getting a lot of farm on the Terrorblade. He's still over 3,000 net worth ahead of the Templar Assassin.
Ramses is getting huge. So much value out of having him power on this hero. You know, you can just send your illusions to push the lanes, and then meanwhile you farm jungle very quickly. So in comparison to No-Tail's Terrorblade last game, Ramses is getting better farm, and more importantly, a lot higher levels. He's actually the highest level in the game right now, tied with TA and his allied Ursa.
They're coming top. They want to fight. S4 is very good at Sentry Ward up on the hillside, so there'll be no quick shenanigans. Then S4, blink forward. Oh, he'll get Burrow Strike. He wasn't in range for a lasso. He'll force up just far enough away. And with the Spectral Haunt, they will come in. No-Tail joins the fight. Pasha, he was still burning into the Firefly. Now into the egg. There won't be enough of a stun to get that Nova off in the epicenter. Perfect from Lil. Burning through OG. They're down 3. They're down 4. At a Tier 1 tower, it's the consolation prize as well. Everything goes to VP.
Monkey King wasn't there. They tried to go in, thought they saw an opportunity there with Fly getting in, and there was no RP, but just the sheer numbers advantage playing in VP's favor there, in addition to the fact that they almost killed No-Tail S4 when the fight... I don't know. I don't know what's coming from. I've never had this problem in my life.
It's crazy with S4's Jirax. He really wants to try and Wukong command that. Well, he'll jump straight back out of it, realizing he's a little bit too late.
Didn't work. He gets out.
Oh, okay.
But S4 almost died in the beginning of that fight. The Force Staff kept him alive, and if VP were a bit faster to commit, they could have killed Bat in the opener, and that wouldn't even have been a fight. But they got a great outcome out of it regardless, so not the biggest problem. Aegis now in the hands of Ursa. And here we go. So he's going to jump in, gets Burrow struck, but there's no real follow-up. I guess the Haunt might have canceled a blink or two.
It kept Pasha out of the fight.
They're controlling Pasha really nicely in this fight. And yes, this Supernova is not ideal, but it gets enough damage out that they get the kill.
Problem is, Ana couldn't get in. Like,
and
Lil's control, the epicenter just created the biggest wall that could not be crossed. So, OG very much in the danger zone. 8,000 advantage going the way of Virtus.pro in the gold. It'll flatline up a little bit now, and same for the experience. That one's a little bit lower, but it's still a really good advantage for Virtus.pro. They still have that Aegis the Immortal over on no one. And that means license for VP to push and attack.
Pasha was just checking for the Monkey King. He blinked skewered at the whole tree line, but Jerax was a bit further left. Once again, Pasha with good game sense of what Monkey King might be doing.
They're randomly cutting every tree. Look at Lil. like this guy right now is a lumberjack.
It's an alternative strategy.
Well, here they come. Metamorphosis off cooldown. All ultimates up for Virtus.pro apart from Chaotic Offering. And S4 tried to slow down the push with the Firefly. As the Napalm Upheaval is there. So OG
so
can't jump.
Hard with the power, it's 400 damage!
Hang on, S4 go this? They still don't have Ana. Ana's farming. He has a TP scroll available, but he's trying to finish up the Desolator. He just got enough money for it. And he hasn't okay, here comes your TPs. They're all coming back. OG, this is their time that they want to fight. Ramses doing the work from range.
God, this is so filthy. It's a combo we've seen before, but I forgot how stupid it is. That is some crazy damage output from Ramses.
S4, Firefly's up, Blink Lasso, we found the target, the Burrow Strike didn't connect, they got the Magnus with the Spectral Haunt, Durex creates the perimeter, the Virtus.pro, they're already so far away, jumping illusion to illusion, they find the real Notal, a 3-man rock, no Fatal Bonds to follow up, thanks to stun from Durex, but no one, he's just going in, he's going ham, picking up S4, they turn their attention towards Fly, after Icarus dive himself away to safety. The Virtus.pro, they're happy, they'll stop.
They'll definitely take the bottom shrine here with Terrorblade. Great hero at taking shrines. Just take it slowly, minimal risk. Oh, he's even going to find an Arcane Rune. That is very valuable on Terrorblade. That's why he's going to give it to Ursa.
No, he's just playing with his SK.
Important play here, by the way, to highlight from Jerax getting the Boundless Strike out on the Warlock who's channeling Upheaval. I think that could have gone really nasty for OG. He was able to continue doing that, but VP playing it very well here. Yep. Even with Mac getting caught, that didn't turn into a disaster. It could have been really bad. Ideally, Pasha shouldn't even be targetable by S4, but he found the opportunity. Unless VP directly tried to bait it. Like, they want him to get caught so they can get an instant Burrow Strike. It was the attempt they made, but it failed.
If Lil did actually connect on that, then you would have said goodbye to S4, the Magnets would have remained live.
You would have said goodbye to the Merrick's.
Yep. Oh, no one.
A haste.
Yeah.
Doesn't pop it. Just runs away.
Just a quick TA trap to slow down no one and dissuade him from attacking.
Ramses has a Scotty in a moment. He is so far.
So 2 big items the next engagement then. You'll have the Scotty on Ramses, and Notal just reached the money for the Radiance. He will not have buyback available, but he understands the Radiance is so critical in the fights. They need to keep that Blink Dagger of Lil on cooldown. Same for Ursa and Magnus. Like, Radiance is going to do so much work in this upcoming fight. Haunts off cooldown in 17 seconds, though.
Full minute on Aegis on Ursa.
Smoking.
Meta-is up. This is a fight Notal.
They're going around the back.
You have to try with this Radiance. If they fail this fight, they lose at least their bottom racks, maybe even the mid-tier 2 and more.
Where's the scan?
Oh, they got Jerax off the...
Jerax is down, but they're coming from the rear. There's no scan out just yet. Batrider jumps in. They did find again the Magnus. And when the jump forward, the damage is big on the Warlock. He'll fall. The Nova, it won't be able to trigger. He got focused down too well, but Lil is so low. Ana was able to do a lot of damage, but Notal, he's so far down. Ramses can just hold and stay and just pawn with this Terrorblade. He'll look for more with the Skadi slow now. S4's the man on the run. Ursa's ready in 1 second to blink forward. Look for his target. The Observer Ward is up. They can play the game of vision. And goodbye Ramses. He'll TP away to safety. Ana will love to find this kill. You don't have the lasso, but maybe with Sticky Napalm, they can burn through the Aegis. Actually, no, it's already gone. It's just timed out. No one is actually stranded here with no more friends. It's a big kill to get. He's 10 wide, but then again, no one with the control. Jerax will have to come and help out. It'll be Ana to take it, ending a 6 times kill streak. The 708 gold, good money for the Templar Assassin. but Virtus Pro still did the damage, which is the full bottom racks.
No one tried to be cute there. He stayed in the tree line hoping that the Bat Rider would fly back past and then he could kill him off, but there was an observer ward placed by OG, seeing him standing in there, and Ana just disables his Blink Dagger, and after that it's pretty easy for OG. Almost lost S4. Yes, I told him S4, but
victory!
Didn't get it. Yay! VP are still very happy with this, obviously. The kill on Jerax kind of sealed the deal on that lane of Barracks. I think OG trying to take this fight is all right. They end up getting some decent XP swing by the looks of it from it, but not really any gold advantage gained. They tried to play their superior positioning, but the 4 on 5 ended up hurting them too much in the end.
Well, N0tail's found Pasha, but Lil is coming in. Pasha is not alone. Right now, they're wanting to actually pressure bottom lane OG to force Virtus Pro to try and come in defense. Then Spec just farm top lane and haunt herself over. But it's the mid lane. The Blink Lasso, Solo caught out. Ana is here to help out. 2 attacks will do the job. More money into this Templar Assassin. And Monkey King, I don't know if Jerax is really thinking about this. Pasha, he saw him jump. Jerax will go further over. He's next to Ana, holding his hand.
They could get an RP on N0tail here.
Where's the blink? Here it is. RP straight up. Where's the friends? Where's the support? Is there a way out? No, there isn't. N0tail is down for a minute. Buyback is available, however. But now it's defense time again for OG on the opposite lane with the side racks.
This is scary for VP, to be honest. They used meta, so of course the push will be strong, but no Warlock in position, no RP. Mag is low. They will be able to do at least some good damage here. They want to try to force this buyback, but I think this is fightable by OG even without the Spectre if they combine their spells well.
OG's looking for it. They have to get a little bit of mana into Ana. That's the reason why they're triggering off the Shrine. Blink Lasso, not going to happen. Lil actually got the perfect positioning, catching an S4. Yule steps her up, plus a Spectral Haunt, creating absolute chaos. And Jerax, the 3-man stun with a Wukong command. They catch VP out. Ramsey's able to get the Thunder off, and maybe Solo can turn this around with the Rock Drop, plus getting the Fatal Bonds, but they can turn their attention over towards, oh, actually, yeah, they can. Solo, because no one popped. Ana will have the damage. Solo will go down, and Virtus Pro, they lose the whole kit and caboodle.
It did cost a N0tail buyback, but very, very well worth it. That's what I was thinking here. It's dangerous for VP. They go in for this push. They know there's the risk of the buyback on Spectre. I understand you want to force it, but Lil, get out of there.
He wanted to go for the solo kill over on Jerax. Now he's opened himself up for a world of hurt. There's a blink off cooldown of Ana in 2 seconds time. They just have to keep that blink of Lil on cooldown. The Burrow Strike with the meld severs them in twine. VP.
I feel like I've seen this game before.
Yeah, this is...
But they didn't get Rax last game, did they? Before the bad fight? I can't remember. They might have got one. This is still VP's
they got the range
game.
racks. They got the range racks last time.
This is definitely still the VP's game, but OG with this fight, finding some much-needed momentum. If they take one bad fight now and Spectre dies, it's more or less over, however. Like, there's a very clear win condition now for Virtus Pro. Get the Roshan, kill the Spectre, end game. But Roshan is spawning soon, and OG have superior vision in the area. They have the Bat Rider, there's no VP vision. They have TA Trap. They will see the spawn here. They feel like they could try for it. However, bottom lane looks a bit scary. So they will back off and concede map control.
Well, that's when you just send N0tail down there. N0tail could do the defense and then just haunt into the fight. That's the advantage of having the Spec. Well, luckily he's pretty close to the side shop and he can sell his Orb or PMS. He's still holding on to the Orb of Venom.
It's gonna go here, I think. No, got rid of the 4-man. No TP bottom.
Yep. Roshan was started, but the Templar Assassin trap wasn't removed yet. Solo doesn't, and the sentry ward's too far away. They put down the Orbs. And they're actually fighting this far enough away. Yeah, they can't see the status of Roshan. You know that he's outside the pit, but you don't know the status of it, and it's already too late. Virtus Pro, they get the Aegis Immortal, and they put it on the Terrorblade.
Oh, and he has a double damage rune as well. This is how you stack up some big advantages. You just wait for the blessing of Gabe Newell.
Praise be to Gaben.
And there comes the push from VP.
Yep. And this crowd can sense it. This crowd's actually not been that biased considering we are in Kiev, but OG's had a lot of fans out there too, but Virtus Pro, you can smell the blood in the water when Ramses has all of this going his way. And there's the Metamorphosis up.
He hits for 700 right now.
Okay, the lasso is on an illusion. He didn't get the real one. one spectral hunt will happen, however. Solo dropping down low. Anna can't finish the job. The rock won't really connect on anything. G-Rex still waiting for the Wukong's command. He's a hit on Solo. Actually dropped him down very, very low. Solo has to retreat back out, and you see Anna with the haste rune jumping through the rear, but Lil will find him first. Burrow strike out. Oh, Anna down. Ramses will take the kill. Even the Sunder used on S4. So Ramses is back up the ball, and he's just pounding it down. Smack, smack, smack. They just keep going. Ramses, the unstoppable force, or is he? Anna's trying to get rid of the golem. The melee racks will fall. Now the skewer over. They remove out Fly. But is there more damage? Ramses, he's still slowed up. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. The Fatal Force, it connects S4 and No-Tail. Sunray, the burn damage is there. No one's on the run. Remember, he doesn't have the Aegis, the Immortal. And it's VP. They've lost a hell of a lot of heroes. They claimed a lot more in return. And with the help of Lil's Epicenter, maybe they can claim more. Ramses, he's still in the middle of this fight. Sunder is available. Durax has to be careful, especially if he goes Wukong command. They commit to the engagement. The Sunder used over on Anna. They're outside the Wukong's command, but you've lost your Terrorblade. Lil will fall as well. But once again, Virtus Pro, they may lose the fight, but they put one step foot forward to win the war against OG with a second lane of racks down.
And they forced, was that only the Phoenix buyback? It might have been. That was a really long fight.
It was just, it had Phoenix and Templar Assassin. Two of them actually bought back.
That's a huge victory for VP. Yes, they end up losing their heroes in the end, but they've built themselves such a big advantage now that this one is hard to, I want to keep highlighting this
Terrorblade Magnus.
No, it's not just Terrorblade Magnus. Again, he has even better synergy because he has the double damage as well with Metamorphosis. Again, base damage. I think his number was something along the lines of 240 damage plus 400. I think whatever. Just absurd. That
ludicrous damage.
Absolutely absurd.
Ludicrous damage.
It reminded me of these moments where you have a super late game situation and there's a hero with 2 rapiers. That's actually how hard he was hitting this tower.
But he showed he's not immortal when they stick around that long, and you can sense OG. They feel pressure. They feel like they need a better advantage. The crazy thing is, for all these kills, for the position they're in, the graphs start lying to you. The gold is in favor of Virtus Pro, but the same swing goes the other direction for the experience in favor of OG. For Virtus Pro, they understand they're one lane of racks away from forcing Megas against not a great pushing lineup of OG.
Question is now if they want to wait for the next Roshan or not, because if they wait for Roche, buybacks will be available for OG as well. This is a good moment of opportunity for them anyway, simply because they know there's no buyback on TA and Phoenix. So
you got all your ultis up, and like, what have you got to lose? You lose a fight. What are you? Like, the main thing you potentially lose is one lane of racks, and that's probably going to be all.
They can't lose a lane of racks.
Okay, then you lose nothing.
If you get wiped, it's pretty bad.
Keep your eyes peeled for the Monkey King. You put an Observer Ward up. It's pretty high Observer Ward plus the Sentry. So looking for the targets. Batrider's out there too. A Sentry and Obs down for Virtus Pro. And now the blink away. S4 very nervous.
No-Tail is just sitting in the bottom lane, only letting his illusion push. He doesn't want to show on the lane. He's still scared that VP could try to catch him out. Is not the case. VP have 5 heroes top.
The Observer Ward's going to reveal them all now, so if No-Tail wants to come out and beat into the tier 2 tower, he can do so. Remember, they have Spectral Horn to bring him back in. The Observer Sentry, the RP, it catches Anna. This could be big. The Wukong command, however, on the back lines. Rock may turn this fight around, but Anna gets a distance. He won't kill off Solo, as it is no one. He's the one doing the murdering at the Bear Claws. 2 down for the moment. The Nova will trigger, but all the sun's up as the golem. But inside the base, it is the king of ludicrous damage. It is Ramsey's triple kill at GG. We avoid the clean sweep as Virtus Pro level the series 1 apiece.
Yeah, DT again. This is actually unbelievable. I know AUI loves this kind of stuff. He's going to be having a blast just looking at these numbers, you know. It's like absolutely absurd. But VP, again, as I was saying, there's a very clear win condition with the buyback on TA.
5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. OG's turn.
I was thinking about your comment in the last.
Choose your hero.
Behold the horn of Magnus. Life Stealer. Night Stalker. Axe. Dragon Knight. Storm Spirit.
Medusa. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The series is tied up at 1 apiece. OG now turning to mass team fight to get back up on top, while we've gone for a red and blue theme coming out from Virtus Pro. Cinderin, it seems his crowd is trying to get behind them all.
I was thinking about your comment in the last game where you were like, this team isn't biased toward runners. I'm like,
hey,
really, dude? Really?
Okay, they started the OG chant, and then instantly there's a boo, and the VP guys are right behind him again.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a lot of love for both sides.
Let's talk about the game a bit, because there's actually there's a lot of chop to get done here. This is a very, very different draft and some stuff I quickly want to cover. OG's early game laning stage is not very strong. Their support duo, Phoenix, Elder Titan, I feel like is pretty greedy. It's not that easy to set up kills. It's not that easy to apply pressure. They are very low on lockdown. There's no very obvious synergy with Magnus and Power either. Yes, it's pretty good on Medusa, but you don't get the cleave on anyone. So their lineup has a couple of issues. VP are good at early aggression, but when it comes to the big team fights, OG's lineup is really dangerous to fight into. They have so much AoE control, so much AoE damage. However, what we talked about before in the end of the last game was that, you know, OG seemed to have this problem with losing the early mid game. When I look at this, I don't think it's going to be different. I think they could fall behind even harder in this game than the previous ones, and I hope they prove me wrong, because this game could actually be a really big stomp. But if they manage to get through the mid game and get toward the late game, their lineup is great. And it's a high risk, high reward kind of draft in my eyes.
You can see VP actually working out as well. Like, they understand that OG, okay, the early game is going to be bad, but no one's really going to be contesting anything you do. So the Night Stalker, which is going to be running 4 position for Lil, goes for the Iron Talon and 3 tangos. They're going to try and get a lot of farm inside the jungle if it's going to be possible. So it's up to Jirax to run interference. His stomp actually on no one. With the help of Lil, they still managed to block up the mid lane. So they still get the advantage that way, but Ana, yeah, it's going to be pretty even no matter how this works.
Yeah.
But this for me is the other critical lane. So you talk about like the influence of Virtus Pro with their roaming. You're not going to have a lot from Warlock and Night Stalker to start with. We have to wait for either the first or the second nighttime phase and see how many items Lil's got to see how effective that will be. So in the meantime, it's about the one-on-one matchups. So far, no one has always been on top of Ana in this series.
Yeah, this is a less... I feel like this is a lane where even if no one plays exceptionally well, it's less winnable, or you win it by less if you win. But it's still a lane that Dragon Knight can take an advantage in. Just using Breathe Fire well, controlling the creep wave well. Storm will push you, you can push him back. No real kill potential, especially not with the supports of OG like we talked about. The only thing you need to be wary of is don't take too many static remnants, and Dragon Knight is just fine here. So. Yep. But Ana will have a better time. The options for massive outplay for no one are pretty limited.
Yeah, they're going to require more on the rotations. Jirax, Elder Titan is fantastic for invading the jungle and causing issues for the Night Stalker, but because of the Observer Ward that was already placed down by Virtus Pro overlooking the bottom rune, they knew that Jirax came over, so Lil rotates up and he goes to the opposite side of the map where they also have protective vision. They also saw the fact that OG planned their own observer ward there. So for the first nighttime movement, you can bet Nelly that you're not going to have Lil go for that point of aggression.
This is like the dream lane for Axe. If you were to ask me what one of the worst dual lane safe lanes I could come up with would be, this one's pretty high up. Phoenix Medusa is a really bad lane. Pasha is actually just bullying Fly in a 1-on-2 lane because what is he supposed to do? Medusa has no impact in this lane really in terms of pressuring. He can only farm. So Pasha's having a great time. On the contrary, S4 in the bottom lane is up against something way harder. The Warlock, way stronger zoning support.
And it's Ramsey's lifesteal. It's not just a lifesteal, it's Ramsey's lifesteal. This guy...
Oh, great shockwave from S4. That's very important. He just pulled all 3 range creeps with that shockwave instead of giving solo the pull.
See if we can get any of the last hits on these 3.
This is lane deciding stuff, actually. He got himself about 3/4 of a level with this one shockwave play. S4 is exceptionally good at this as an off-lane player, in my opinion. One of the best in hit-blading creep aggro.
Open wounds, S4 is going to skewer away. Probably have to trigger that shrine a little bit earlier for him, but he'll be okay with it. Lil does have a small action rune. He found himself a invis rune, but he's just going to come up and grab the bounty and just continue the farm.
Just looking at Pasha playing Axe. It's kind of funny.
Hey, he's dressed. He's dressed for the occasion. That is one definitely stylish set over on Axe.
Okay, so what OG need to work with here is they need to try to push the wave out with Medusa and get pulls for the Phoenix. They got the one small pull before that Pasha contested. If they can somehow push the wave out entirely and get the big pull, that would make a very big difference for the no-tail Phoenix. Jerax, unfortunately, hasn't really been able to accomplish too much. He pinged out earlier that Lil probably rotated to the other side of the jungle, and he was completely right in his pings, but couldn't really get up there and contest him. And now Lil is back in the other side. So essentially, Jerax is level 1, and Lil is level 3. That's been the trade-off in the jungle. Big win for VP.
Yep, and Jerax really wanted to start fighting. It's the reason why he's got boots and stroke on him. He meant to keep up with the Night Stalker's maneuvering, but Lil, this is great news for Virtus Pro because coming into that first nighttime with uncontested farm plus experience gain, you're going to be looking at Night Stalker having a proper impact in nighttime, which is in 5 seconds time.
Yep. Want to point out, by the way,
they're TPing top. You got a level 2 over on Jerax, so the Spirit's going to come out straight to the stomp. Pasha, we held a position, the creep wave goes around him, but this is their counter here. Fly is not ready to fight.
Exactly, Fly wasn't ready, so it's still, I think OG have to try to do stuff like this, connect their support so they can at least assess some sort of pressure on the map, but it's not too easy. Now, here's the problem. VP have successfully gained a 2,000 gold lead in 4 minutes with 0 kills and 0 towers. If there was a tower, that would be pretty bad as well at 4 minutes. That's pretty scary. They're just getting way more out of the map than OG.
That 0 kill may change. You got only 1 point up in Upheaval from Solo, so you went for exactly the same build, but there's no level 6 on the Storm Spirit, so you can rely on Lil. This Storm needs to be able to connect. Jerax, he actually can't do it. He was short of the mana, which means he cannot hold VP in place, which allows Virtus Pro to get first blood, and Lil's not done. He'll chase down Jerax, as he's got the nighttime advantage here. A 2-0-1 over on Lil and Jerax. Well, Stomp comes off cooldown, but Lil can just basically like tiptoe around this. Jerax goes for the Stomp in the tree lines. He voids him. He's got more than enough damage, and Jerax is toast. Now top lane. Okay, Fly, what do you want to do? You just lost so many of your teammates. Icarus side back under the tier 1 tower. You have no friends to work with, and even S4 is forced to TP off this off lane. You said the laning phase is going to be rough for OG, but this is more than abrasive. Lil, no mana for Void.
They are putting so much pressure on the map. This is an absolute 5-minute beatdown by VP right now, and the problem for me looking at OG here is that I don't see the solution right now. It's just they have to sit back, try to find the farm, and eventually come back with a team fight. But usually if it's this extreme in the early game, it's a problem. Sometimes you can tank a little loss, you know. We've seen other teams being able to come back. It's not like the game is just over at minute 5, but this is worrying for OG. This could, the way this is developing, if this keeps going, this could be the most one-sided game of the Grand Finals so far. We need to see what OG managed to do when they find their levels. Unfortunately, the supports are just not... They're not finding that much. Jerax is still at level 3. What's the Night Stalker? Almost level 5.
Yep.
Phoenix 3.5. What's Warlock? 4.5.
Lil is phase
Huge
boots.
XP win as well.
Like phase boot, Blightstone plus the Iron Talon. He actually does work when he goes in.
Axe gets
Speaking
a
of
call up.
going
This
in,
could be
it's
something.
Pasha. You've got Ana. He's got a haste rune. So Pasha can't just outrun this. Got to keep the distance. Care of the spins as Ana is low, but the stomp. Perfect position. Flying as well with the sprites out. He's the man to get the kill onto Pasha.
Good for OG to find something now. They need Ana to get involved in these kills because of the shortcomings of their carry and of their support duo.
The lane switch have actually worked properly too. Like the fact that Ana is moving around in the jungle and letting the supports tank up on the top lane, get the experience, and it lets NoTown take the mid, the Medusa, the hero which there's no way Dragon Knight should be able to kill the Medusa,
Yeah,
let alone at least.
They need to have a hero sit mid constantly so Dragon Knight doesn't push the tower with Elder Dragon form. And it will be NoTail on that duty right now. As you said, Fly, getting some good experience in the top lane. He's gonna bottom lane skewer from S4. He brought in the Lifestealer. He has to TP out now again.
There's no friends to help him here, and the vision game from Virtus.pro. There's the Observer Ward behind the tower, so they know that S4's alone, and the other Observer Ward is watching inside the jungle, exactly where Lil now initiates onto Ana. Ana's having a lot of mana. He's got 2 bottle charges up his sleeve, needs to get back under the safety of the tier 2 tower, not to mention the Spirit Stomp, but that both jumps got burnt. Another quick jump, but Void is available. Ana's in so much trouble. Virtus.pro, all 3 kills currently belong to the Night Stalker.
Such a good play from Lil here. Just playing patiently, taking advantage of the Observer Ward he has. Acknowledging that this Stomp is coming in from the Titan, keeping track of the mana. He decided not to use Crippling Fear because if he had done that, he wouldn't have had a second Void. So just holding the mana there, the beautiful play from him. And
it's daytime.
Yep.
Lil's fun
A little bit of a breather.
moment.
A little breather for OG that they desperately need.
But he's already going to have the medallion.
Oh.
This is already up on him with all the kills. Skewer away, no one has triggered Dragon Form.
Wait, how did that just happen? I hope we got that.
It was RP. It was RP and then Dragon Form is off.
But he Dragon-tailed him. He must have Dragon-tailed him at the same time as RP, else S4 could have skewered him. He didn't get the skewer off. He got RP off, but no skewer, so.
Well, no one's looking for a kill now. He's got 6-1 charges up his sleeves. There's a lot of... He does have enough mana for one of those stuns. When he gets hit by the Spirits of Fly, no one just cannot attack. He got hit by the tower as well, so Shadow Word has to start bringing his life back up again. NoTown's rotating over. He does have the Stone Gaze up. But there's no way for OG to hold them there when the RP is down and Elder Titan's on the opposite lane.
It's still good for NoTail to show up here. He stops the push. There needs to be presence. They have to show heroes, show numbers, so VP don't just take control of everything. Note S4, damn it. S4 has managed to... I can't explain. Kobe, I really can't explain it. This is actually unbelievable. Anyway, so S4 has been able to get quite a bit out of his laning stage. I think he's played a very good off lane this game. He's currently level 6, going to be hitting 7 here from this double... What are they called again? Tomato and potato? They're not called Ursus anymore.
The Hellbears.
Hellbear, there we go. Maybe I'm just getting old. I'm just starting to forget things.
I don't remember my Nama.
But S4 is getting quite a bit here. So that is a bright side for OG. Their offlane went pretty well. If he does get a Blink Dagger, it opens up opportunities, but they still need the other cores to scale to have the
triggers
damage.
the darkness coming into the tower. Because he used the Void already, Jirax very wisely TP's out and makes it so Fly doesn't have to fight. Fly, she didn't even have sprites up, so we couldn't really help. This darkness won't really be able to gain much. He does steal the bounty. Well, actually, I say that. He now rotates around behind
Fly
the tier 1.
doesn't see him with the ward because of darkness. So.
And Axe is kicking up. They've got...
Look at their warding, by the way. OG.
Yeah.
They've placed 2 safe lane covering wards. That's how much Lil is terrifying them right now.
He can cut through that tree. If he wants to just run straight into Fly, he can do it.
Ana pinged him out.
Yep. He's right on top of the Dire Observer Ward. Darkness or not.
He's going to run over and find out Ana is farming.
Yeah, that's that Observer Ward he put down so long ago. Jirax is trying to interrupt any kind of extra farming as well.
And meanwhile, they just have this Ramsey's Lifestealer farm like crazy. Midas, soon to be an armlet. Warlock is level 6. Dragon Knight is coming bottom. This tower will be pushed now by VP. Let's see if OG have any response. Jirax is currently level 4, minute 11. And I think the Tome, actually the Tome is going to be used by Fly. So he's level 7.
Here's the TP coming in.
He is strong right now. This is a strong Phoenix with level 4 in Fire Spirit.
That's if they can force them into the fight. So there goes your first off over on the Dragon Knight. Quick sprite out. Fly If he, okay, he can't even think. He doesn't have enough mana. Like, he's still short to reach his Nova.
Raindrop is giving him 2 mana a second here. So 10 seconds for his combo. But now he won't have Fire Spirits, so using the Supernova is very difficult. And Lifestealer is a good counter in the first place.
He has Arcanes plus the Ring Aura now, so he's back up. But this push, once again, Dragon Form gets popped by Virtus Pro. The damage to the tower is there, but considering VP starts this game, the fact that OG are holding the line, or at least slowing down the line,
they stopped the bleeding.
It's a good thing for them.
They stopped the bleeding. It looked like this could be a very scary graph, but OG have made some good movements to prevent losing towers.
Ana, with all the movements that actually came out from No-Tail as well as him, he's at the top level on the board right now. He's the first one to hit double digits.
Got a lot of experience out of farming jungle.
Yeah. And also the farm to go with it. Looking towards that Bloodstone, has himself an Arcane Rune. Nice thing for the fight, there's a smoke maneuvering from Virtus Pro.
Nighttime advantage.
They are fighting into the one area they don't have vision. And the Dire Observer Ward won't scout out anything either, so they wrap around. S4's the biggest target, he actually breaks the smoke. And he's back behind the tower, into the trees. S4 has to know something's a little right, and now he definitely does. Lil reveals himself, S4 still under the cover of fog, and then Blink, Skewer pulling Pasha back under the tower. Pasha does get the call off, but with the Spirit forward, looking for the stop, it connects on Pasha and Ana right in the middle of him. The Spirit damage, the Golem will fall, trying to turn the tide of this battle, but with Warlock already down and Pasha trapped in the trees underneath the Nova. That stun is actually going to cancel. They pull him back in with a Vortex. Ana will find a double kill. And Virtus Pro really pushing the issue at a tier 2 tower.
They just overdove a bit there. OG took full advantage of the positioning of Axe to get a good skewer in. Rams is going to force fly away. So what happened there was if Axe gets the call off before the skewer, they can follow up with a Night Stalker Silence and maybe win that fight. But they gave the OG a lot of time to think about their response. That was like a 3 or 4 second dive into fog. OG with a better defensive position were able to hold and get some very important kills for Ana.
Dragon Knight's going to try and force down another tower with his form triggered on top lane. No-Tail standing its ground and fighting. Obviously a lot of OG's reinforcements from the bottom lane with no ability to TP top for the moment. So it's up to No-Tail to hold that tier 1 tower. And finally, Ramsey does bring down the tier 1 on bottom.
OG did a very good job delaying this long. That was not an easy defense by them. And they had to commit a lot of resources. I think they would have liked to have higher CS values than they do, but defending the tower is just more important. Sometimes you got to sacrifice it, a bit of the farm to keep the map control. Map control is generally the most valuable resource in all of Dota. That's why wards are so extremely good for the price.
These fights are going to become very, very interesting with both of the armlets rapidly approaching for Virtus Pro. In fact, one of them now being done over on the Lifestealer. It's going to be up to, would you even say it's up to Ana to ensure he gets that last hit in, ensures the kill, and then moves on to the next target and not get kited out by Toggle.
There's a couple of things. They have Fire Spirits. Sunray especially is really, really good against Armlet. And Supernova, of course. Like, Phoenix has so much damage over time that as long as he is on the target, they should not be able to toggle whatsoever. But if Fly is down, it can get tricky.
But look at this tight vision again. Jirax, they got 2 wards up, and Jirax is right between both of them. The blink, the call, just in front of the Roshan pit. I don't think anyone's really going to get there in time to help him out. Silenced up, which means he can't stop. And a quick Culling Blade down, and Pasha claims a kill.
Radiant's bottom
toward mid. OG again with defensive positioning. They will have Storm split pushing bottom. He actually doesn't have a TP. Infest. Oh, they want to go for him bottom. Nice move back here from Ana. Good read.
The Radiant Scanner didn't hit. He moved to the west and actually avoided hitting the target. So Pasha may actually work out that he is just farming the side camp.
It was a good read from Ana. Now he needs to not give it away after. He's actually going to show him the wave now.
Ball Lightning's in quickly, take it out, and then get the hell out of here. And oh, wow. He went down south. Pasha jumps in north, doesn't get the call. And without that control, they do not find the kill. And S4 wants it now. Reveal the position. His Blink Dagger is up, so Blink RP is available. Lil having fun with Fly on the bottom rune area, and Phoenix just straight TP out. Fly, understanding the situation, he was dead if he didn't do that exactly as he did it.
Scan from Dire. They will see that VP is still there now. The night is over. Darkness is online for Lil still, so they could look to extend this night whenever they want. But at the end of the day, again, OG are holding. This is Ana's split push pressure made VP tempted VP to try to go for the kill. They failed. Ana got out because of really, really good reads and is keeping his farm going.
It's that mid-game you were talking about previously. Like, OG seems to be able to find enough space on the map and not give enough over to Virtus Pro that that mid-game becomes scary for like VP bearing down on OG.
This ward of flies is good, but they're under smoke. Pasha could find an opening here.
Yeah, it runs in through the rear. There's your jump up, double call. He got the big ones. He got Fly as well as S4. Jirac split. It doesn't create enough work, or actually it does. Combining up with the Stone Gaze, Pasha will die, but Medusa now left alone. Not enough mana for shield. And a big hit. Solo creating the space with a chaotic offering.
No mana on Ana to come in and join the fight right now. He needs time. He'll try to split push top tier 1, but VP will be claiming the tower first. They can now choose between trying to defend top or going for more, or maybe both. Rams is going top, should be able to hold this. Unless Ana wants to be cheeky, he can get a couple hits in.
Going on live stealer would be pretty challenging.
I could have just tried to hit the tower sometimes and see if he could get the last hit, but rather leave it out of deny range and go for it later on.
Solo's actually trying to take the double stack of Ancients.
He's dealing some good damage, and he will get a couple of CS.
Yeah, with Fatal Bonds, he's actually taken 2 of them.
He got 3 creeps there.
Jirac is trying to hunt him down. No.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was a high-risk play from VP once again. This time it works. It was similar to the play they made bottom, but this time they nailed the Axe call. And the moment that 2-hero call lands, the fight is almost won already. But that could have gone wrong.
It could have.
Not found it. Still need to be careful with these plays. OG are definitely ready for them. Now here goes another tower. So VP claim all the tier 1s 18 minutes in.
Yeah, Rames was just able to slip up. Ana wants kills though. Yeah, the towers are going to fall. I think he understands this. But with that Bloodstone fresh on the Storm Spirit, they want to hunt. They want to find murder. And the easiest target for them right now is going to be Pasha and Solo. They're both standing on top of each other. S4 needs to get a little bit close. There's no vision up that hill for Virtus Pro, so no one. He's walking straight into it. Ana leaves the Remnant behind, a little bit of chip damage into that Dragon form. They're waiting for it. S4 still holding that RP, gets hit by the Breeze Fire. Starts to skewer just to get a range of the control from the Warlock. Jirac's caught in the tree line, and back they go.
They really don't want to go on this Dragon Knight. It's so tanky, and they just are very limited on damage. I think the key ability to killing him is actually Sunray, but it's not going to do it alone, especially not with only level 2. Oh, Ana!
The call is there. Fly. He lets the Sunray go. He's trying to keep the Storm Spirit alive. It's actually doing a pretty damn good job. Ooh. S4, he thought about it. It could have been great synergy. Notal was in the perfect position with the Stone Gaze, but now they trigger Darkness.
That was flat out a bait from Ana. He wanted to jump there to set up the RP, but VP realized in time that that kill wasn't happening and that they were risking their positioning, so didn't go for it. Good play from both teams once again, but VP are coming out ahead. Sitting now on a 6,000 lead on the gold, and the experience is climbing up as well. But this is not an insurmountable lead for OG by any means. Their lineup isn't meant to be strong right now. They have got through the early game dangerous stage better than they could have hoped for, I think, after the 2K lead minute 4.
Yeah.
They managed to do a good job here. And now the question is, what's the next play for VP if they're waiting for any key items? Pasha will go for Force Staff, be able to bring the heroes back in. Lil will get the Axe. That is a big item against this type of lineup from OG. It's all about getting the jump, having vision advantage. Hotel gets Mana Shield off in time.
Yeah, he needs to stay alive. Support is coming in. Jirac, the Spirit Stomp. Ramsey still protected. Lil actually dodges it. The Sunray is keeping Medusa up, but there's your call from Pasha. Ana jumps in deep. The RP from S4. It gets whopped. Only the Golem was affected. And now with the Nova, there will be a double stun on no one and Pasha, but they're ready to fight once more. Dickerous dive away as S4. He will be culling bladed down. Pasha with the double kill. The initiations have been perfect for Virtus Pro when they've looked for them. And they're going for more. Fly wants a Sunray up. The call is there, but he only goes one direction. The bird is dumb when he's flying like that.
That was actually... The thing is, 0-hero RPs like this look so bad, but it was so close to being a 3-hero one. You have to go for this attempt as OG, and the moment it misses, the fight is over. But if you don't even try, you're just sacrificing heroes. That was a potential good teamfight setup, and VP did a very good job splitting up to not letting OG find that, but that got very close. They still have to be cautious with this amazing teamfight of OG, and they're doing a great job playing around it. And this is why the Aghanims on Night Stalker will be so important. As long as they know where notes S4, Toby?
As long as I know where the Magnus is.
I'm going to call him by his hero's name, I think. That's probably better.
Whatever works for you, Sand. I'll go with you.
As long as they know where his war is, it becomes very difficult for OG to find the fighting.
With no RP available, where is that ET Spirit? 3 seconds till it's up, and in fact, Jirax is TPing down. He just went to the bottom lane. They are doing nothing to even slow down VP on this Roshan. Upheaval becomes a buffer, but Virtus Pro don't even require it. I think Jirax understands he needs levels. This is a level 7 Elder Titan. He is the lowest level on the map, and he has no influence. That aura is meant to make Virtus Pro scared to go into OG. That aura is meant to lacquer on top of everything OG has for their team fight. And he's had to put everything into that. The Spirit doesn't have a lot of bite. It's a rough game for the Elder Titan. Oh, that blink. Skewer away. S4. Lucky to dodge Lil. Again, if that Aghanim Scepter is up, that doesn't happen.
Mid lane, they're thinking about it.
Now people slowing down Notel heavily. The Sunray is out, so Medusa still silenced up. Can't let the Stone Gaze go. Fly is keeping Medusa there. Here comes your Spirit into the Storm.
Nice
the Culling Blade was too early. Life Stealer as well as the DK. They might get stopped for a second, but the damage is still being done. Medusa falls, and Ramses once more. Jirax, it is the biggest meat pile for him just to steal from. Another double kill for Pasha. He's been the man of the hour. Now 6-3 for him. A Blink Dagger on the DK initiation. It's getting better and better with every minute that passes for Virtus Pro.
And no one can play so confidently. There's nothing stopping him right now. He will only really die to a Sunray plus full magic damage first. His plus armor is good against the Elder Titan aura, so they can't bring him low enough on armor to be able to kill him with like the Medusa.
And they just got the mech for solo. Right now they've got the burst regeneration and aura.
Yep.
This is the perfect game for Virtus Pro. Executed wonderfully. So patient in the fight, and here goes Pasha again. Blink Call, there's not a lot of mana on top of Ana. At the same time, you can say the same thing about Pasha, but support's rotating up. Lil plus no one are on their run. They actually scan and it pings. It actually pings Ana in the tree line. They know exactly where he is, but now they've got to go further north. And he walks into it. No one. Short range blink. This Storm Spirit, 12 Bloodstone charges, can't even deny himself. Now down to 8.
I don't have much to say about VP's play in this game apart from pretty much one good decision after the other. They're playing exceptionally well.
It seems very tempered. Like they're in a great position for the fight. They take 2 kills, but they don't go too far. The only overextension you could probably even feel was what happened on the bottom lane, but that was a situation forced out by S4.
That's true. The one dive they did bottom was a misplay. The rest of the game has been extremely good. Dota gonna drop the rock on No-Tail here.
Fly stands up again with a Sunray. Where's the support? Ramsey moves forward. No-Tail's trying to get rid of the column, but Upheaval is making this difficult. Ana in the neighborhood. Bring him back to the Remnants. There goes your Stone Gaze. So you do get rid of the golem. Where's the support? S4's waiting. He's still under the cover of Invis. He has his Blink available. He wants them to group up so he can go for the RP, but VP's positioning is so scattered. He'll have to skewer into the 2-man RP, but there's just no follow-up. The ET Splitter won't do jack. When Medusa is gone, the ET Splitter try to create more space. Ana will have to deny himself up. OG are down 2 cores with no buyback. And VP, like blood-crazed sharks, they hunt OG in this ocean that really belongs to them.
They're going to go high ground. They do have the Aegis on Ramsey still. No RP, no Earth Splitter, no mana for Super. No, okay, yes, sticks. So Fly can go in here. But VP's heroes just seem unkillable. They're going to do this spread where Storm can't hit them all with Ball Lightning. They still have the mech ready on Warlock. That wasn't even used. So going to climb them tier 3, play it pretty safe here and go for the top shrine surrounding or bordering the Roche pit. No, they were pinging it, but didn't want to go.
This is the no-risk Dota from Virtus Pro. Wait and see where OG is going to come out to. Don't lose this lead. You're now hitting 13, almost 14,000 advantage in net worth, 12K on the experience graph. Everything goes the way of VP. The Midases are making the richer.
Do they become the richest then?
They become Monopoly.
Because internet. Okay. So, okay, what upsides do we have for OG? It's hard to find them. They lost a lot of Bloodstone charges on Ana, but
they still have good team fight on the higher ground in defense.
Lincoln's on Medusa. is completed, and he will be building in toward a damage item, I would imagine. If No Tail goes Mantis Star, they still don't have any damage output, really, to speak of. But Midas...
jump. Oh, short jump. They go over towards Pasha. Pasha takes a lot of damage when he gets hit by the Mystic Snake, and now to the Sunray. Fly started killing himself off, but with that kill, 643 gold into the Phoenix. They should be able to bring down the Tier 1 tower, and there's no buyback for the Axe.
They might pressure forward even further here.
You have RP available. So yeah, take the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 tower.
Aegis is down. All right, we were talking about upsides for OG. That kill was a pretty big upside.
Space created.
Kill and 2 towers in one play, more than likely here. VP might try to fight. They've got him in 5.
They have the BKB also on the Dragon Knight, so he is going to be huge in this fight. Oh, Ana jumps in, tries to clean up the wave. No one jumps up. There's your Sunray again. Need to keep him alive with the RP! Magnus hits on them all! The Sunray's been pushed down a little bit further. They've only killed off the Warlock with the ET Splitter. It'll kick in. Ana is low. Ramses. The Rage will wear off in a second, so he has to start backing up. The tower is still OG's objective. They haven't brought it down. The denial not going to be possible. OG does get the last hit, but No Tail, you can't leave him alone. Storm already did. Ana has left. He's gone top to start the push going. While Ramses and Lil, they start the fight. Pushing in towards the Medusa. Jirax tries to create space. They get the stun off with a Culling Blade. No Tail will fall. OG trying to push the envelope. But they get punished as the pickoffs on the retreat only include No
from S4 into a good Stone Gaze. Supernova wasn't used though. I think Fly didn't have